Did you see that? A ghost.
Welcome to Paranormal Pentivity, a show about songwriting, ghostwriting, and everything in between. My name is Nayim. I am your host, and today, part 2 of how the cell phone destroyed rap culture. I realize we need to go ahead and make a little mini series, a little mini segment on this specific thing because all roads lead back to the phone, man. All roads in the recent years of everything is leading directly back to what people are doing with this cell phone. For part 2 today, I want to cover the dehumanization of the artist. Artists have put themselves in a position nowadays with this phone, with the help of the label, with the fans, where people do not see artists as human anymore. It's made them performative to the point where they will do anything on camera just to maybe feel something inside. They will do anything to garner a reaction because what used to be, hey, I'm an individual artist, hey, I'm an individual person, hey, this is my style. Because remember, there was a point in time where if you came out and you was like somebody else, we don't really want you. We don't need you. We already got one of those. The Lil Wayne clone pandemic that happened, that never would have been acceptable 20 years before his time. Because it would have been, we don't have no more places for you. We already got a Wayne. We already got a Young Thug. We already got a Meg Thee Stallion. We don't need, that's why with females, it's only been one every 15 years. Because you can't come in and just jack people like that. But when this got introduced into, I'm going to say the lexicon, because we're going to talk about some lyrics. When this got introduced into the atmosphere, it made it so, in regards to dehumanization, I'm going to get on the phone and show everybody how I'm different, even if the difference between me and the other person is I'm stronger than them. I'm more powerful than them. I'm willing to go a step further. We're doing the same thing, but I'm willing to go a step further. So if you're willing to bust an egg on your head, I'm willing to pour a carton of milk on my head. See, that's on the side of the spectrum where stuff is just kind of, it's stupid, but it's more innocent. Nobody's getting hurt if you pour a milk jug on your head. Nobody's getting hurt if you bust eggs on your head. To getting on camera and maybe trying to slip into another lane. So, I think about how, unrelated, but in a way, kinda, George Bush, you know him for being the president, but people forgot all about that plane and that building in New York situation when they found out he could really paint really well. So you have artists just trying to veer off and maybe show off their other talents. Like, this person really might be good at crocheting. He really might be good with building, just any little thing. So we go from being silly to being, look, I can flip houses. That's a really popular one. I'm into real estate. I'm into this. I'm into that. Then we start moving into taunting our enemies. But not, it was the taunting the enemy section is something completely different. But like, when people started taunting their enemies, it started being, I'm the best rapper alive. That kind of thing. I'm the best. I got the best, most loyal fan base. I'm the hottest. Ain't nobody touching me. Look at the crowd. I sold out. Taunting them in that way, where it's innocent, fun competition, to saying names or not saying names, but mentioning areas and mentioning our ops and all of that stuff, to saying names, to full-fledged stalking your enemies, where you'll have not just you stalking your enemies, but you'll get your fans to go stalk your enemies. This is all desensitizing people to the fact that at the end of the day, these is human beings. We're human beings consuming this, but there's certain things that shouldn't be normal to us. So you're taunting your enemies, you're getting locations, you're saying stuff, you're popping up, people doing all type of stuff, following you in public. Then we get full-fledged murder happening on camera. Just somebody with their cell phone. Think about the Young Dolph scene. Before he was killed outside the gas station, that's where we left off on part 1. But then when he got shot, people was on surveillance camera. But do you remember there was a lady outside who had her cell phone Dolph dead, y'all. Dolph dead. You remember her? She didn't go over there and try to save that man. She didn't go if she knew CPR. She didn't know. She didn't do anything. But like what most people do is just pull their phone out. And the most extreme case is we've seen so many murders. Like you can go look up anybody murder you want where their murder happened in the vicinity of other people and it was not enclosed off. Or you can see what happens to them after the fact. You saw Mo 3, somebody riding by with their cell phone. You know, nobody got out their car to try to help Mo 3 when he was being chased. Probably smart because you probably would have got murdered too. Nobody helped. Like when P.2 Rock got murdered, cell phones was out. Ain't nobody know what to do in there. Ain't nobody do anything. Them people, that business was open the next day. When a shooting happens at a Walmart or a school or something like that, if people people will be, oh my God, man, look how crazy it is. It could be a tornado coming, and they not storm chasers. Them people will pull their phone out. The tornado coming right in their path, and they will pull their phone out. You supposed to be scared when these kind of things happen. You're not supposed to be able to look at a murder and just keep going about your day. You're supposed to look at a murder and be sick. You're supposed to be look at a murder and be traumatized. But we see so much of this, and you see the whole process of a person minding a business to full-fledged being murdered, and everybody can see it in 1080p HD video on demand anytime they want. Save it to their phone, and the world keeps spinning. We don't stop. This cell phone, especially in this culture, because everybody gonna eat when a murder happen, and they gonna eat for as long as your murder is fresh and good. We like people are out here because of the cell phone. People are living murder to murder. They're not living because they're making content that's like, oh, you know, this just brand new concept of how to do something or talking about what their expertise is. There are people from rappers coming into success, you don't even have to have the success, because a part of the dehumanization is being forced to be working like a robot. So if somebody sells 25,000 albums, their first thing, the right person say, oh man, that's a dud, that's a flop. This person feel like they didn't accomplish nothing, knowing the person that said something crazy about them, they couldn't go sell 25,000 or nothing. You couldn't get 25,000 copies of anything sold talking crazy. You couldn't get one copy sold. You couldn't sell 25 CDs. A stranger picked up their phone and said, you flopped. Now, what you go do? You go run to the cell phone, pick up the phone and start cussing out a stranger. But then you looking at your number and you feel like, man, like, I could have did better than that. Especially when you got other robots, other cogs in the machine, feeling like they not good enough, feeling like they not doing it. You're not looking at these people like, okay, you know, that's a good start. Because I always look at it like this. If you fail or something didn't do as good, just look and see what happened. And maybe it don't catch on right away. Maybe it don't do as good right away. Maybe people don't get it right away, but that's usually the case. But we don't feel that way. We don't care because we look at people. All of us have done this at least once. We look at people and we already have assumptions about who they are and what they should do. You will see somebody like Saweetie with her page. If you got 12 million people coming over here, why can't you sell 3,000 albums? That's crazy. But we're not realizing, like, they're not over there for music. They're not over there for that. They're objectifying her. We want this from you. We don't want to hear you rap. Never rap again. But going back to what I was saying, that everybody eats when, from the time you come in to the time you go to the other side of eternity, everybody gets to eat off of that. And it shouldn't be, like, how do you sleep with yourself knowing that people have to die for you to eat? You know, like, that's a question that a regular person with a healthy mind would ask, because you shouldn't be consuming this kind of stuff all day anyway, and you wonder why you depressed, you wonder why you sick, you wonder why you sad, you wonder why everything is, you know, you always wake up and you just angry, you don't know, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Nobody should be, it shouldn't be happening in the first place, but ingesting all of that stuff all day, every day, a steady, constant diet of feeding on people on their cell phones, just every time something crazy happen, don't give you no history, don't give you no nothing. Just every time something crazy happen, here they come. They don't, that, you're not looked at as no human to them. Ain't no art. Anybody who feed off the death of a rapper, just living from death to death, like it's paycheck to paycheck, which it basically is, that's objectification. And what is objectification? You're not human. You're not a human being to me. You don't mean anything to me. This cell phone mean more than you do. This cell phone, I have more compassion for this. I won't drop this, but you, who cares what happens to you? I don't, who cares? And that's what we are with dehumanization. We talk to them any kind of way. We say, we do whatever we want. When something happens to them, we don't pay them no attention. You might get 2 weeks out of us. If you was big enough and had enough impact, if you were strong enough, to touch enough people, people will still care. Your fans might still care, but we'll be on to the next thing. It's like a towel, You use your towel one time. Some people use it once and throw it in the dirty clothes. And some people use it a couple times and I don't want to use this no more. Throw it in the dirty clothes. That's how we treat artists, because they got up here and they were performative and they made it seem like, I just want the reaction of the people. I just want people to come and see me. I just want people, they don't try to have no conversations with folks. They don't try to be personal with people because they know what being personal comes with. They know what trying to, get out here and do what you really feel like on the inside, what that come with. That come with smacked on top of the head and saying, get back to, getting into that machine mode because you got a quota to meet. We don't have time for your mental health. You got a quota to meet. I don't care about your child. Go on tours because you got a quota to meet. That's where we're at. And it all leads back to this. An artist say, Summer Walker, for example, she'll say, my mental health and my anxiety. If that, and I'm saying if it was real, but Summer Walker says my mental health and my anxiety, people should say, shut up and sing. Like, or pick a different profession because you're a singer. Not taking into account all her behavior has really displayed that something is wrong with her. It's shut up and sing. I just want to hear you sing. Shut up and dance. Play the guitar. I don't care about none of that. Deliver. Dehumanization. I don't care what you're going through. Produce. That's what a game is at, but that's what we allowed it to get to because we put entertainment over wellness. I had something else I forgot I wanted to say something about this, and I forgot what it was. What was it? I forgot. But I'm out of it. It's just sad. I just think about how really from having an idea that you want to be an artist, you're going to have to accept the fact that once you get in front of this cell phone, all bets is off for anything that has to do with your wellness, your well-being. You are a paycheck to somebody else. You are actually a paycheck to everybody else. You'll be the last person to get paid aside from the songwriter. And I think about with the songwriter, you write these songs for these people. You get out here, or the ghostwriter, because most of them have them. You get out here and you write these songs, and you got a choice to make. You're going to write songs about, the positivity and all of that stuff, where you might get a couple placements and you might have to, if you can do that, if you can get in there, that's cool. Or you can choose to take care of your family and you can write about murdering people. You can write about shooting people. Like, do you know how devastating it is the first time you shoot a gun? And I say devastating in the idea of like, everybody remembers their first shot. If you're familiar with firearms, you remember your first time shooting. And shooting is another thing that you have to practice and you get better at. But you can be the best of the best positive rapper. You can be the best of the best, writing that whatever. But if you're not clicked in with somebody that can help you monetize that, you're gonna have a hard time, opposed to the person who can be slightly above average, because you still got to compete in every sector, but you can be slightly above average, go over there and assist somebody in writing a song about shooting somebody's mother's house up, shooting at somebody's child, doing violence on another person, and it is that kind of work it's not gonna run out no time soon. Selling drugs to people, destroying complete family, ruining somebody's day. That kind of work, you'll get that all day from all races, all ages. You'll end up having to pick. That's what I wanted to say. You gotta pick at the end of the day, because you get up here and then it's like, the last thing I'll say about dehumanization is it pits sides against each other. So what the cell phone did as far as pitting people against each other is, the people on the positive side, a lot of the times, they don't look at anybody on the negative side. I'm talking about lyrics at this point. The people that write the positive lyrics, they don't view the people who write negative lyrics as people who have value in the system. They think that those of us who contribute to writing negative songs, and I say negative is anything that's harmful against women, harmful against family, push drugs, push sex in like a degrading type of way. You know what negativity is, gangs or any of that stuff. Like, anybody who does not feed into what a positive family friendly or child friendly or young adult friendly, system, they look at us as we're not. You are the problem. The positive writers look at the negative writers as the negative writers are the people that are responsible for getting all the attention, getting all the shine, getting into the mainstream. They make it hard for us. While even though it is true, however, all attention is not good attention, and we all are still fighting the same fights. Negative writers look at positive writers like, why would you waste your time and waste your talent feeding into people that are using you to push agendas that they don't even believe in? They're using you to push positivity, and you're broke. You're not getting nothing for that. You're wasting your time. So we're not looking at each other as human, even though we're all in the same boat. We just on different sides of the boat. You lame, and you're a terrible person. Not even a terrible person. You're just terrible. You're scum. And this is what this cell phone has done. Because especially when you behind the scenes, you got to end up looking at everybody, and we all looking at each other, and you seeing, oh, this person did this, they did that, they numbers this, they numbers that. Why can't I get that? Nobody cares about what I'm doing. Maybe I should just stop and do something else. When they don't care, none of these people care about any of us. We just fueling that. We fueling the tech company. We fueling the distribution. We fueling all of that kind of stuff. That's what we are. This is what this cell phone has done. Is now we're entering the part of the cell phone that has started the war. We talked about the murder and all of that stuff, but it's just doing more damage than it is good, because it's too much out there. It's too much BS in the sea of information. You know what I'm saying? Let me get out of here. My girlfriend on her way. I got an episode. It's this episode, then it's going to be another episode today of Paranormal Pentivity on the Paranormal Pentivity channel. I'm trying to get that up and going. So, my name is Nayim.
Did you see that? A ghost.